Hi, everybody. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening. And welcome to another edition of DayTradeSPY.com's Intro to Trading Week in Review. And all right, here we are. Here we are. All right, just you know what? Bear with me for half a second. I'm just going to put this on mute just a second here. I have to close the door. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. We were getting some ambient noise from Studio B over there, and just wanted to make sure that we don't get any crossover on from us to theirs or theirs to ours. There was another webinar going on. All right, gang. Good evening, everybody. And while we are waiting for everybody to join in, I see a lot of people still joining us here. Please use the questions box for any questions or comments you might have. Today is January the 28th. I am going to start the recording right now. Here we go. I think if I click this button, it should work. There. All right, and good evening again. Welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's introduction to trading week-in review. And good to have you all here. A lot of people online. Look at this. Whoa, my goodness. This thing is growing every week, growing every week. All right. I think in a couple of weeks we have the Super Bowl, right? So let me ask you my first question. Do you guys want to do this on a different day? Because I don't want to interfere with the Super Bowl and the halftime show and all the rest of it. So let me know in the questions box if you want to move it to say Saturday. If we move the session to Saturday, would you be interested in joining us Saturday night, 8 o'clock? Let me know in the questions box. And if we have enough people, we'll move it to Saturday instead of Sunday so we do not interfere with the Super Bowl game. So the first thing I'm going to do is welcome everybody and also mention to you that this is an interactive session. You'll find the questions box icon on your Zoom dashboard. Just click on that. I'm the only one that sees that. All right. And my name is Hugh. I am the presenter here, and it is January the 28th, 2024. All right. There's that questions box icon. I think you probably found it already. I see a lot of questions already coming up here. Okay. Okay. A lot of questions here. Okay, so I got some questions concerning the Thinkorswim platform. Please, what you want to do there is send that to Aaron. He has the template for the Thinkorswim platform. Send it to Aaron, AHREN at DayTradeSPY.com. Send him an email. He will get it off to you. All right, he'll get you the Thinkorswim platform template. The other question is, there was another question on the board here. I saw just a little while ago here. Oh, about getting the trading room, getting and we'll get to this in a little bit here, the $20,000 challenge, getting the spreadsheet. You're going to get that probably around 8 o'clock or so tomorrow morning. All right. Okay. So nobody cares about the Super Bowl. You're more important. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. It says you are more important than the Super Bowl. Nobody cares about the Super Bowl. Somebody else is saying yes, move the Super Bowl. Move from the Super Bowl. Saturday makes sense. Saturday is good. I'd be there on Saturday, no problem. Saturday is better than Sunday. Saturday is good. Yes, either is fine. Move it to Saturday. Okay, good. All right. I will make note of that. Just that one night only. Okay, Saturday before Super Bowl. Okay, and then back to the usual Sunday. Sounds good. All right. Okay, good stuff. I sent multiple emails to get the Thinkorswim template not received. Again, AHREN at daytradespy.com. AHREN AHREN, Aaron at daytradespy.com. You got to make sure the spelling is right. If you send it to the wrong place, he's not going to get it, right? All right. Do we always trade the weekly? Okay, all these questions. Okay, anyway, we'll get to the other questions a little bit. Let's get moving, ladies and gentlemen. All right, my name is Hugh. And another quick question I'm going to put up on the board here. Please put the answers in the questions box. And I will make sure, Bala, I'm going to record your email, send it off to Aaron, myself. Okay, I'm not trying to do some administrative work here. I don't really want to do administrative work, but I'm going to send that off. While you guys are answering this question, how many of you seen this webinar before? And if you have, please reply yes. And if you have, if this is your first time, tell us that too, just so we know that this is your first time here. Because if you are first time, then special welcome, okay? And if you are been here before, then that's good to know too. So I'm just going to quickly go through that, and also gives me an idea as to how much I should talk about sort of a introductory primer on options. Okay, Doug B. All right, lots of yeses, but some nos too. Jim F. Good to have you here. You'll find the questions box icon on your Zoom dashboard. Look around there. You should have a questions box somewhere. I don't know if it's on the top or on the bottom or wherever your dashboard is, or maybe it's under the more. Okay, there should be a section with three little dots that says more. You should find it. There should be a Q&A section there. So, okay, we have a good mix of people here from first time and a lot of people here for who've been here before. So, okay. All right, good stuff. Let's move along, ladies and gentlemen. And let's move along here. Okay. Da-da-da. I wanted to make sure that we're all good. Okay, we're all good. All right, so again, want to mention welcome here especially. And I just have to give you this disclaimer so that it keeps the lawyers happy and it keeps us out of jail. By attending this webinar, you fully understand and accept the financial risks involved in trading securities. The risk of loss can be substantial. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your personal investment objectives and financial resources. By accessing this webinar, you understand that you're not receiving any advice as to what or when to buy or sell, but are simply receiving information for educational purposes only. Any decisions concerning your trade are solely your own weight, your personal objectives and risk tolerances. You alone are responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Charts are courtesy of Schwab, Thinkorswim, and Tasty Trade. Now that we have that out of the way, let's take along here. Go on. That is me, folks. You're going to meet your hosts right here tonight. And I understand we do have our second host here as well. My name is Hugh, all right? And I come from the trenches, all right? I used to I used to be I used to work for corporate America, handed off a lot of my money to my financial advisor, lost half of it. That's when I realized I have to learn how to do this myself. And I did get I grabbed hold of my account is what I did. I seized my account and I started taking all these different courses and looking through different venues on how to do this and what this is all about. Nobody, I don't believe, is born a great trader. Nobody is. Honestly, I don't even know if you're even in this for 1 or 2 years if you're going to become good at it. I think you have to be here for a very long time, and you have to go through the trenches. You have to go right into that, get your hands dirty on all this stuff, and you are going to suffer losses. I find it tough to believe that anybody is here on this chat line right now that has suffered more losses than me. And I say that not with some sense of pride, but I had the staying power, and I always knew that there's money in this business, and I just knew I would study these charts for hours on hours and hours on end. And I would look at the lows and the highs, and I'd see a low of 5 cents on an option and a high of $3 in one day. Wait a second, how is it that you're able to make like 6,000 times your percent or some ridiculous thing? I'm not trying to make 6 times my money or 600 times my money or whatever it worked out to. Can I not make 5%? Can I make my 5 or 6%? Will the market not give me that? Anyway, I learned from all the mistakes. Every time I made a mistake, I would go back and I would see what went wrong. What went wrong with this trade? How does it that yesterday was good and today it's not? What did I do? What could I have done something different? Well, anyway, I learned, and eventually I stopped doing all the things that were costing me money and just focused on those things that were making me money. Okay. So that's what I call in the trenches learning. And that is what I teach. Because what happened was eventually I started making some money. I started bringing home all the toys. Lots of new toys coming into the house, right? New cars, new vacation, lots of vacations, new house, new airplane. Okay. All right, my friends, family, relatives, neighbors. Okay, Hugh, what are you doing? You must have won a lottery or something. That's not, no lottery, just trading spot. Well, you got to show us. So they coerced me into showing them, getting online, setting up a website, all that stuff. That was in May of 2010. Fast forward 14 years later, we're still doing it, still doing stronger than ever. As a matter of fact, we are doing it better than ever because I guess it was 2022, late 2022, we were bought out by Eagle Financial Publications. And the best move they ever did was to bring a gentleman by the name of Aaron Stevens on board.
Well, thank you.
So, Aaron Stevens, I'm going to introduce you right now. Here he is. Good evening, Aaron. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you. How about yourself?
Not too bad at all. Not too bad. We had some guests over earlier, and it's kind of it's funny because some neighbors and stuff, and everybody's kind of scattered. Somebody's got one couple's going to Costa Rica, another one's going down to Florida, and we're going to be going down to Las Vegas and I don't know, Arizona, Florida, whatever. So we kind of get together every now and then. So this is sort of a little get together we had. And I said, guys, got to run here. My show's coming up at 8 o'clock, so no problem. We're out of here. We are so out of here. It's been a real pleasure. But so, Aaron, you are my co. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You are a genius when it comes to this.
Well, thank you so much. I will say I'm like a humble Hugh number two. I'm not gonna say anything more about that, but we've been really right on in some of our calls. I would say what 90%, 95% of our swing calls this last week we called the bottom at 470, 471, saw resistance 475, talked about 484, and then talked about even 488 and 489 before price dropped back this last week on some selling pressure on Friday. But when I'm talking about right on the swings, not actual individual positions. So we called the low at a 61.8% retracement at 470, 471. But I'll leave the rest of the show to you, Hugh. But I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Yeah, my name is Aaron Stevens. I should have been a rock star, but it didn't work out. Two first names. But
Oh,
um, yeah, so I started learning technical analysis in the stock market when I was actually when I was in middle school, a long time ago. Wow, almost 30 years ago, I started getting into this when I was interested in stocks. So I picked up the Wall Street Journal and started learning about tickers and looking at prices. And I became very interested in that. And I said, you know what, I really want to one day learn how to invest. I didn't even know what trading was at that point, but I was like, I'd really want to learn how to invest, and I really want to help people. And I'm so grateful that I'm doing that here. So I opened up my first account when I was 17, started traded penny stocks, and was looking at the regular stocks for a while, but the dot-com bubble burst, and I took a break for a bit, I think, and came back stronger. I started learning Forex in 2006, 2007. I tried a couple of different strategies and systems, and then I found something that really worked for me. And I read some of the best books on technical analysis, some of the foundational books for finance and technical analysis, and I started working on the charts just like you did, pouring hours and hours over different charts and chart patterns and whatnot. And eventually I studied for a Series 3 exam, took that, and became a licensed commodity broker. And I was most recently a analyst at around $150 million fund. So I studied different types of charts, chart patterns, but my expertise, I would say, is in the Andrews pitchfork, as well as the Fibonacci retracements and extensions. So I'm really happy to be here with you, and happy to support him and to support all the traders out there that are working with us, and really glad to be a part of Eagle Financial.
I hear there's a vicious rumor going around that because of all your innovative techniques and stuff that you invoke here, that they're going to rename that to Aaron's Pitchfork. Is there any truth to that? Aaron's Pitchfork. Uh,
Maybe,
we're
maybe.
glad to have you with us, Aaron, and
Yeah.
it's going to be an exciting session here. And I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. You guys are actually a very, very fortunate to be here. I mean, I wish so much I could turn time back and that I had a Hugh and Aaron to work with when I learned this stuff. I know for a fact I would have saved myself so much money I can't even begin to tell you. And it would have made better decisions. I'd have become wealthier a lot sooner and everything else. I would not have gone through all that. I guess it's good that I gone through it because this way I learned the hard way and everything. But really, um, you guys have it easy in comparison to Aaron and myself. We went through hell to get here. I think I can say that for you too, Aaron. I think you've had your share of losses, if I'm correct.
Yes, that is correct. But I think that's, when you first start out, if you don't have a coach, you don't have a mentor, you don't you don't understand what you're doing, that's almost like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Um, and uh, and it's almost like an initiation fee. If you get over that initiation fee, if you get over that trouble that you might have in the beginning without a mentor, with just maybe reading books, not part of a group, um, that's what shortens. And we've talked about this, in all the inner circle psychology webinars that we've done in the past. Having a mentor and having a coach speeds up your time and lowers your mistakes by at least 2 years.
Oh, at least, absolutely true, absolutely true. All right, lots of ground to cover here tonight. Let's talk about this. This is what we're going to talk about here tonight, all right? We are going to go over we're going to go over an options primer, because I know there are a lot of new people here who have no clue what options are, and then we're going to quickly go over that. Okay, this is not a session where we're going to learn everything in depth. All right, it's just a very cursory, very quick overview of what options are, and gives you an idea of what these instruments are. We're going to talk about what happened this last week, and we're going to talk about the upcoming week. And of course, we're going to talk about the 2 to 10K challenge round 3. This is your final call. And I happen to know there's 1 or 2 people online right now who are not in the trading room. And it is for those 1 or 2 people, maybe even 3 people that we're talking to here tonight. Those of you who are not in the trading room, and why you should be, and because of the 10K challenge, I think that is very important. And we'll talk about your challenges. Okay, we'll get to those in the chat box, and gonna answer your questions and your next steps. I should also mention this webinar that sometimes I do get very excited, very passionate about what we talk about, and therefore I tend to speak a little bit too fast. If I do speak a little bit too fast, and I talk over your head about something or maybe technical stuff, don't worry about it. You're not going to miss anything here tonight, and as far as that is concerned. Okay. I'm just hoping that you pick up the drift as to what we're talking about. And then we can get into more in-depth stuff a little bit later on here. So we do have a lot to go over here. So, all right. So let's quickly go over here. What are we doing here? What do we do? Well, we day trade SPY options, SPY, period. That's all we do. SPY. It's the highest traded stock out there. It's affordable. It's diverse. It's liquid. Huge profit potential, and it's exciting trading. People often ask me, well, why don't you diversify? How can you just be in one stock? That's not what all the gurus say. You should diversify. And I tell them flat out, I can't think of a more diverse stock than SPY. All the sectors are represented in SPY. There isn't any one stock that in and of itself is going to move the entire stock, SPY. If Apple suddenly drops dead tomorrow, all right. Technically, it should not materially affect the entire SPY. The reality is, of course, it's going to bring down the tech sector and everything else with it, but it's not going to be devastating. Okay. And which is one reason why we don't trade the Qs, because the Qs is the Nasdaq, which is very tech heavy. And if Apple went down tomorrow, then the entire Qs are going to just go right down the tubes with them. All right, so that's why SPY is a very, very good. It's the S&P 500, the top 500 stocks. That's the beauty of what we do here. So what are options anyway? What are options? Well, all you have to do is remember 2 names. You're going to remember these like your kids' names, all right? Calls. If you expect the stock to rise, you buy a call option. That's what it's called, calls. If you expect the stock to drop, you buy a put option. Call up, put down. And again, the way we trade, we buy them first and then we sell them. If you expect the stock to drop, you do not sell a put or anything like that. You buy a put. All right. Very important to know that. Options, these are contracts. Actually, it gives you the options holder the right, but not the obligation to trade the underlying stock for a certain price by a certain date. Again, you're going to get to know these names very, very familiarly. Okay, calls and puts. They also have a strike price. This is the set price at which the stock can be bought or sold for if and when the option is exercised. Now, as options traders, we have no intention of ever owning the stock, at least not the way we trade. There may be some strategies out there that will facilitate you buying the stock at a discounted price or whatever. I don't have any interest in buying the underlying stock. I don't care. I don't want the stock. I don't care for stock certificates anymore. Been there, done that. Not worth the paper they're written on. Okay. If you want some stock certificates, let me know. I'll probably dig out some old stock certificates from all over the place I can say. They're not worth anything. All right. Uh, I just want the money. And I'm guessing you do too. That's why you're here. We just want the money. Options have an expiration date. This is the date at which the contract expires. Now, to be clear, there are actually two systems out there. There's the American system, which says that the option can be exercised at any time leading up to expiration. Expiration being the end of the day for whatever days to expire. Then there's the European system, which says you can only exercise the option at expiration. Now, SPY is under the American system, and its cousin, the SPX, which is actually the basket of the top 500 stocks, which is more expensive and everything else, that is actually under the European system. Okay. Don't need to know too much about that. Don't worry about it. All right. I'm just throwing that out there as a point of interest. Point of interest. There's this thing called in the money. In the money, and that is the when the market price of the underlying security is above the strike price, that's assuming calls, or below the strike price if it's puts at expiration, allows the options holder to exercise it for a profit if you are in the money. And then, of course, there is the converse of that, which is called out of the money. This is when the market price of the underlying security is below the strike price if it's calls, or above the strike price if it's puts at expiration. And then, of course, it becomes worthless. If you are even 1 cent out of the money, your option is worthless. Now, we like to generally buy at the money, which is, between the in the money and out the money. Usually the next step out of the money. That's usually what we like to buy. Okay, we call it at the money. All right, so pros and cons, pros and cons. Pros of options trading, lots of flexibility. Excuse me, very cost efficient, huge leverage. By this, I mean you can actually get into this game for even a few $100s. Okay, you don't even need all that much money. You can actually control 100 underlying shares of SPY, the stock, for even $200-300 if you want. You're not going to make much money on that. You might make some coffee money, maybe, but that's not how we trade. We like to trade a little more than just one contract. What I like about options is the huge leverage. You don't need much of a move in the underlying stock or the equity to make some pretty serious money in the option. That gives us a high return potential, and there are many, many strategies available. Now, ours, I'm not professing to be the be and only, the one and only. There are many, many strategies. The way we trade, which to me is the best, we do not do strangles, straddles, covered calls, married push. We do not do spreads, no spreads, and we do not sell naked positions, no naked positions, okay? We buy first and then we sell. We buy calls and puts and then we sell them. With the way we trade, you can only lose what you put into the market. And that's important to know because there are strategies out there you can actually lose a lot more because there are responsibilities with an options trade, okay? You could be on the hook for a lot more than you realize. And I can guarantee you this, okay? There are no guarantees in the stock market, not even ours, okay? No guarantees, not with our system, not with any system at all, except one solid gold ironclad guarantee assures you're sitting here. You will lose your money if you do not know what you are doing with SPY options or with any options, any options. You will lose your money if you do not know what you are doing. Aaron, I'm going to tell you something. I'm actually a little astounded that brokers would allow options traders without having to take a rigorous test. I mean, when I think about it, I'm thinking here, let's say I was to, without a driver's license, jump into a high-powered car or any car, okay, I could kill myself, I could kill other people. Yeah, that's pretty dangerous. I can create a lot of damage. That's why we have licenses. We have license. We have to go through generally a test. And I'm pretty sure a friend of mine actually bought a Ferrari and he had to take a little course on how to drive it. They had to teach him how to drive this car. They weren't just going to give him the keys.
Oh
Uh,
wow, I forgot you told us that one time in the chat
yeah.
room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
My control. And can you imagine? Well, it's my car. I can do it through. No, you can't. Um, he actually little step of this thing here, but yeah, he actually got sued by Ferrari because he he's an entertainer, goes by the name of Deadmau5, and he actually got the car covered with I forgot what he had, like I don't know, whatever his thing was. He had it covered, and he even covered the Ferrari logo. And Ferrari was not impressed by that. So they sued him, and he had to take all that stuff off and go back to the original thing. They ended up selling the car anyway or something, but or maybe they bought it back. I don't know what it was, but oh yeah, you got to be careful. But the point is, you have to have a license to be able to do these things, and anything they're not going to let you go in behind the, in a cockpit in an airplane, even a small airplane, even an ultralight, without being licensed. And yet here it is, the options market. If you have the funding, and maybe you might take a little test or something, but you know, in some programs, but you can actually get programs that will allow you to become an options trader and blow up your not only your entire account, but commit your, to liabilities that are far beyond what you think you're paying in an options trade. It's just uncanny. You can lose
Yep.
everything.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that here. You have without a without a license with a Ferrari, it's almost like having a license to thrill or a license to kill. It's kind of similar thing with the options in Forex and now crypto is that people, if you don't get into something and you don't understand it, it's almost like a license to thrill, and
Oh,
but we want to give you the license to gain, the license to gain consistent profits in the market. And that's what's a desire in our heart for Hugh and myself, is to help you guys make as much money consistently as possible.
absolutely. I like options trading because it's very fun and exciting trading. It's adrenaline rushing. I look forward to Monday mornings, like other people look forward to, Saturday mornings or Friday nights or something. When the weekend comes, I'm actually really, I kind of get in a little bit of a funk because, oh my gosh, the next 2 days, what am I going to do? Right? I
Yeah.
mean, and every day in the market is just as exhilarating as the first day ever, got into this thing. So it's very fun, exciting. There are cons to options trading, obviously. There's the time decay, there's commissions, and it is risky business. And that's what I was getting at. I don't want to beat this to death, but I did want to tell you that there are some real cons to this. And if you're not careful, you can lose a lot of money. And I need you to be aware of that. All right, so what we did here over the many years, we discovered that there's one stock, one strategy, 1 hour a day. And again, over the years, we kind of figured out what works and what doesn't work in both trading and training. Both trading and training. And I want to tell you, it's not just me sitting here espousing the benefits of day trade spy and how great we are. I don't want to do that. In fact, I'm very humble about it all. That's why, Aaron, they call me Humble Hugh. Humble Hugh, but I'm very proud of being Humble Hugh. Oh my gosh. Listen, here's a testimonial that came in here, and I thought I just, I thought I would, share this with you. And I want to just kind of quickly go over it. Hoping for you to get this email, able to respond to my question. My first start out by saying that I love your system. Let me see if this works here. I love your system, and I have made a lot of money. I love your system, and I have made a lot of money with it. Okay, there's that thing go. There it goes. I've been trading for some time. With other systems, I've never had this level of success. I should tell you this, Marianne, wonderful lady. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she comes from the medical world, and she knows what she's talking about. Thank you for changing my life. Thank you for changing my life. Awesome. I retired last year, and in order to keep up with my lifestyle, I really needed another source of income, and this is it for sure. I'm highlighting these things. I've discovered you're absolutely right when you said the first part of the day is the best time to trade. Other systems call it amateur hour. That's right, amateur hour. Call it what you want. I don't care. Does that mean it's not a good system? Let me tell you, we make most of our money in that what they call amateur hour. But that means they got to sit at the computer for some time waiting for the right moment to get in. Not with your method. The first hour is awesome to trade. The first hour is awesome, and I will never do anything else. Marianne, I love you. I love you for saying this because this is unbelievable. that you found what you're looking for. Thank you for that, Hugh. I know you do other signals during the day, but I want my freedom to only think about SPY at 8:30 Central Time and be done with it. This is nothing short of genius. Nothing short of genius. Thank you so much for that. You and Aaron are nothing short of amazing. I'll be forever thankful that I finally had success with the markets. Thank you to both of you, both. Later on, she actually emailed me again today. She says, I just want to comment, in my opinion, the key to success with day trade SPY is exactly as you say. This is what we deliver, folks. High probability trades with modest gains. This is everything, and it's a game changer. Pardon the it looks like I've been drinking or something the way this line is, but it's very difficult to draw straight lines with a mouse. Genius, she says, genius. So, Aaron, when I said genius to you a few minutes ago, those were not my words. They came from Marianne.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you. Hope you have a great weekend, Marianne.
Well, thank you, Marianne, and appreciate that a lot.
Thank you.
And if I could mention something, um, if I could mention something real quick, if you give me like 30 seconds, Hugh, is that what sometimes what's viewed as genius, at least for myself. I do have innate ability that I come with to the markets, and I think I can say the same thing for you, Hugh. You have innate mathematical and pattern recognition ability, but we have a lot of experience with doing this as well. So if you're new to trading, or if you're new to options, or new to looking at a chart, what we do is because we put a lot of time and effort and energy
Oh,
into looking at the patterns and looking at how the market moves. So, but I do appreciate the sweet and nice comments.
that's really good. Let's move along here, ladies and gentlemen. Here, okay, SPY. Why do we trade SPY? Well, I'll tell you, this thing is huge, absolutely huge. Market capitalization is over $482 billion. If SPY was a country, it would be number 33 on the list. Number 33 would be ahead of all these other countries here. Look at this. Ahead of Bangladesh, Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Egypt, Hong Kong, South Africa, Iran, Colombia, Romania, all these countries, plus 128 others. This thing is huge, absolutely huge. This is measured against gross domestic product. So we're not talking about pennies here. This thing is absolutely huge. So why SPY? Why now? Well, SPY follows the top 500 US stocks. Gives us very efficient use of analysis time. I should tell you, I used to belong to other groups in the past, and we used to spend our Sunday nights all day, Monday through Friday, 9 till 4, 4:30, and then we used to spend, I think, Wednesday nights, maybe Thursday nights. We used to get together on webinars all the time discussing, well, did you check your companies, your sectors, your this, your that? Honestly, I don't even think most of us even knew what we were looking for. I know I sure didn't. And we would analyze and analyze, but the bottom line is nobody really knows where the stock is going to be a year from now, a month from now, even a week from now. But Aaron and I have a pretty good idea as to where it's going to be today. Because the two of us, Aaron and I, we have combined over 40 years market participation. By accident, some of this should have stuck on us, shouldn't it? So we got a pretty good idea where the market's going to go today. And with that, that gives us a very good, efficient use of analysis time. By that, I mean right now, all of that analysis I used to do a long, long time ago, that goes out the window. I get in front of my computer somewhere between 8 and 8:30, and I can usually tell what's going to happen today in the stock market. All right, efficient use of analysis time. The moves are quick. You earn your daily gains faster. SPY is fairly reliable. You can actually kind of rely on it. It's consistent, predictive, even forgiving. And prices can be anticipated in any market, up or down. And that's the nice thing. We can actually make money both going up or down. I mean, that's amazing. Where else can you do that? I mean, if you were to buy, I don't know, an antique car or something, you can only make money if it goes up, if the value goes up, right? Or any other investments. I was talking to a guy the other day, he's got a stamp collection. I didn't even think people had stamp collections anymore, but he has a stamp collection. He's got about 15,000 stamps. I asked him, Louis, is there any value in any of this? He said, well, some might be worth a couple $100, and most are probably 5 to 10 cents. I thought to myself, so as far as the financial advantage, I don't see it, but I guess it's a hobby. Anyway. All right, that's it for that one. Now, why SPY now? Why? Because you're going to learn something new, stay mentally sharp, and that I think is really important. You have no idea how many people we talk to every day, And many of these people are in their 80s and they're sharp as a whistle. I'm talking about they can bury me as far as wit and everything else. They're very, very sharp. They remember things. It's because their cognitive skills are very sharp when you learn this sort of stuff. Listen, you can earn while you learn. Time passes by anyway, so you might as well make money along the way. The profit potential is huge for serious traders. You can actually achieve that dream lifestyle you've always, wanted. It's exciting and thrilling to beat the market. And what I like about it is you can actually pass this knowledge on to your kids for financial security. I can tell you, my two kids, son and daughter, they both know how to trade. And my daughter, for example, I mean, when she was never a world traveler, but when she announced that she's going to Thailand to teach English as a second language, I didn't actually believe her until I was driving her to the airport. Tickets in hand, Dad, I'm going. See, here it is. Well, I guess you are, a whole new culture, whole new everything, whole new everything. She's made some wonderful friends there, lifetime friends. And I should tell you, they don't pay very well when you're in this teaching English as a second language program. It's basically the experience you're going for. But she liked to travel around over there and visit other countries, Myanmar and Vietnam and some of these other countries. And I'd always say to her, Alexis, how are you for money? You need money? No, Dad, I know how to trade SPY. And if I need money, the American dollar goes far down here. I'll just get some trades in and make some money, and I'm off. And that's what she would do. Then so when she came back after I think about a year and a half or whatever it was. Then now she's going to Peru to do the same thing. Of course, oh my gosh, Peru, really? She loved it. She loved it. Same thing. Needed some money? Go to SPY. So I feel very liberated, very good, knowing that my kids know how to make money. And you gotta admit, in this day and age, there's no job security. Do you even want a job? Let me ask you, do you even want a job? You know what job stands for, right? J-O-B. It means just over broke. And there's no job security. A few years down the road, you could be in this position and the company's going to be bought out, or they're going to come to you and say, well, you know what, we're going to give you a payout. It'll be a nice payout. You'll be happy. And yeah, you'll be happy for a year or two or five or whatever. But, we found somebody easier, cheaper, smarter, whatever, better looking, whatever, you know how it goes. Folks, there's I can't stress how important it is to be financially independent. That's the key. Don't even have to be rich, but just independent, being able to go and make money, basically at will. So here's what we did last week, and we're going to stretch this baby out here and talk a little bit about what happened here. On Monday, it was a low, no economic news day. SPY continued to rally early in the market, trading pushed off a major resistance. It'd been bouncing off that 485 for a while, came back down, closed about 50 cents under the open on Monday. Tuesday, however, we had the Richmond Manufacturing Index. It actually reported worse than forecast business conditions. In fact, quite a bit. Pre-market was expecting a little bit different, though. However, we got this rise in SPY quickly dropped, but the earnings pushed the markets higher, fueled in part by Netflix's 10% rise. So Netflix came out, shot up 10%, brought up a lot of the tech stocks with it, and the market broke that 485 and closed over that. By Wednesday, the tech-heavy Nasdaq earnings, including the anticipated Tesla, along with manufacturing and services PMI reports, elevated SPY initially, but it pulled it back off strong afternoon resistance and profit taking. We headed up to, well, I guess it was the mid, maybe even higher than the mid 488s, and then it just tanked. A lot of profit taking brought us back down to where pretty well we're closed here the day before. Okay. On Thursday, we had higher than forecast unemployment numbers, GDP reports, durable goods orders, and earnings. They all toyed with SPY up to 488. When it got to 488, knocked it back down on some very strong resistance after setting record highs the day prior. That was a record high. Those people in our trading room on that Wednesday, they were witness to the all-time high of SPY, one of the most important days of your life, I am sure. And if you weren't there that Wednesday, by Friday, those people in our trading room, when we hit 489.12, this will be a date that you will remember forever, right? You will always remember some key dates. Where you were when Kennedy got shot, number one, where you were the first kiss. And where SPY hit the all-time high on Friday. I just having fun with you here, but that was personal consumption expenditures. Personal income and spending numbers came in as well as expected, but elevated pending home sales brought SPY down. A little bit of perhaps inflationary numbers, maybe a little bit of a threat to interest rates, not sure. Earnings, however, still kept SPY in the 487 range, even after record-breaking highs. I'm going to give you another testimonial here. Actually, this is what we did last week. Not a testimonial. What am I talking about? This is what we did last week. I'm not going into detail here. I just want to kind of go over the reports. This is something that we send out with the Inner Circle membership. Every day, afternoon into the evening, we send this out. Just a very brief analysis as to what we did. Take a look. Pick of the day, 6%. Out of the morning gate, the OMG, 6%. Scalp trade, picked up 30 contracts, $210. Tuesday, same thing. Pick of the day, 6%. OMG, 6%. DTS, the signal, picked up its 5% gain. Scalp trade picked up here. What is this? $1.71, $1, 12 cents. 12 cents on the scalp. I'm good with that. That was Tuesday. On Wednesday, more of the same. 6% pick. OMG, 6%. Scalp took it from 124 to 134. That's 10 cents in about 2 minutes, and another 5.4% on the signal. And on Thursday, more of the same. Scalp trade here, 6%. OMG, 6%. Pick of the day went from 418 to 443. We're in that trade for what's that, about 50 minutes. And on Friday, more of the same. OMG, 6%. Scalp, 7%. Not sure where the pick of the day was in this. Maybe we didn't even report it. I believe we had, what did we do on the pick of the day? I think pick of the day was, I'm not sure where we did on Friday on that one, but I'll have to find that one. I'm not really sure, but Aaron read the room there. Remember that, Aaron? I don't know. I don't remember what the pick of the day was. I don't. Was I even there? Uh,
The pick of the day, I believe, was for the calls, and they triggered for a 6% gain as well. I may
yeah.
have forgot to put that in there. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. No problem. No problem. The signal. What we did this week. Okay. Winner, winner, winner. There was a loser here. Fridays did come out. We had to sell that at 4 o'clock. We were down about 19-20%. Okay. So that one was that was a little iffy, but I will tell you that we are actually revisiting the algorithm on that. We're tweaking that. We are tweaking it, so that should give you better numbers in the future. So if you're with the signal, don't worry, that's going to change. Let's look at
And you were
this.
still up. You were still up for the week. You should
Oh,
also,
oh yeah.
or at least since the beginning. I don't know if it's the week that you had your time frame there, but you're still up.
You'd still be up on that one, I think. Yeah. Let's look at the seasonal charts, ladies and gentlemen. Here, this is a seasonal chart. That blue line is where SPY is now. The red line is a composite of the last 5 days closing balance on the daily charts. You can see how it zigzags up and down. Let's just stretch this one out as well. And let's get in here and sort of focus in. Historically, SPY dropped 3 points over the last week. However, SPY rose about 7 points the following week. So if this coming week is anything like the last 5 years, I'm guessing we're probably going to see a move to the upside. Okay, but we'll see what happens. Let's do another testimonial, folks. I love this one here too. All right, my good friend Jerry says, I know you get a lot of emails, but I have to relate today. This is Tuesday. These are all unsolicited emails that had come to us. Many of them were quite extensive with their explanations of different things, so we sort of cut them down for our size. But he got into this thing big time on the pick of the day for 150 contracts. He got in at 255 and quickly put in his close trade for a 6% gain. But then he watched in horror as the stock dropped. Actually, his option dropped about almost a buck in the next half hour. He was down, oh yeah, over $12,000 when the broadcast ended. That's the trading room broadcast. Then he got on a plane very soon after. I think I know where he's flying from, but he went out to Seattle, and he was not able to check anything all day. He was in and out of planes, transfers, layovers, all that wonderful stuff, and didn't know whether this is going to be an expensive trade or what. But he said this. He said, your comment at the end of the broadcast today about young people not doing well in day trading because they don't have patience, that resonated with him all day. So he exercised patience. To make a long story longer, when he finally opened his email in Seattle, the most welcome emails from Schwab, letting him know that the trades are completed, and he ended up making around $2,500. Once again, thank you for your guidance and wisdom. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry, for that. Folks, we get these emails all the time, every day. They come in. All right, two key data points happened this week, continuing to support the case for a soft landing. We had an expansionary S&P PMI for both services and manufacturing in the fourth quarter. GDP growth exceeded forecasts at 3.3% versus the expected 2%. The next thing here, data indicated that economic growth accelerated at the end of 2023, but inflation also moderated as we entered the year 2024. Better than expected growth coupled with easing inflation should support downward pressure on interest rates, and the S&P 500 pushed higher already this year, reaching new all-time highs. And here's what the stocks did this last week. The indexes, I should say, S&P went up 1.1% to a year-to-date high of 2.5% for the year already, and not even quite, month is not even over quite yet. But if that continues on, we're probably looking at about a 30%. If that rate continues, looking at a 30% increase in the S&P 500. NASDAQ up 3%, Dow's up 1.1%. Okay. So coming up, what's going to happen here? For Monday, we've got another low, no, high impact news day. Monday seemed to be very quiet. However, earnings season continues with financials and banks. Tuesday, we've got a conference board consumer confidence report, JOLTS job openings. Earnings on Tuesday, Microsoft, Google, Advanced Microsoft devices, Pfizer, UPS, Starbucks, Marathon Oil, Stryker, Cisco, Electronic Arts, among others. Big day for earnings on Tuesday. Wednesday, more of the same. We've got earnings with MasterCard, Boeing, NASDAQ. Chicago PMI, Fed funds rate is also going to be on Wednesday, and the press conference. That is going to be the day to watch now. I believe they're going to just keep the rates the same. I don't think they're going to drop the rates. I really don't think they're going to raise the rates, but no doubt the press conference is going to move the market, quite possibly both up and down. We'll see what happens, but lots of volatility coming in there on Wednesday. Thursday, it's unemployment claims, Institute for Supply Management Manufacturing PMI. Earnings include Apple, Amazon, Meta, Facebook, Merck, Shell, Honeywell. Another big day on Thursday, folks, for earnings. And on Friday, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report, and earnings include oil and energy. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. So how are you going to trade this? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, volatility may be low on Monday, but it's going to pick up on Tuesday through Friday. Possible wild swings on Wednesday. Listen, trade with modest gains, expectations on Monday, but fasten your seatbelts for the rest of the week. Fasten your seatbelts. All right, let's take a look here. There we go. Back to the camera, folks. We have many opportunities every day. We show you how to spot them and how to trade them. That's what we do. That's our job. And now, because you don't believe me, and I don't blame you for not believing me and Aaron, because obviously we have something to sell you. But I want to make something very crystal clear. We're not selling you anything. We don't want to sell you a thing. We want you to understand if there's an opportunity here that's a good fit, and you see yourself being part of this group, and you want to join in on this group, and you want to come in on your own volition. We don't want to sell you anything. We're not here to sell you things, okay? Just want to make that clear. I'm not a salesman. I just want to make sure that clear. I'm not a sales guy. I don't sell anything. One thing I got to do right now is get the slideshow back. All right, show current slide. There it is right there. All right, so that means I have to go to another testimonial. Aaron, you'll love this one here. Nathan. He is, I think he's a record producer, if I'm not mistaken, but very extensive email he sent me here.
You could hook him up with a dead mouse, by the way.
Sorry, what's that?
You could hook him up with dead mouse, maybe.
Oh, let me tell you, Denmouse doesn't need anybody. Denmouse is he's along to himself. The guy does incredibly well. He's all over the world here. I love this, what he says. All right, I can make one adjustment to my testimonial here. I was typing so fast this morning and trying to pay attention to you guys, LOL. I'd like to say, all right, where is my thingy there? Here it is. Why can I not get Okay, hang on. I get okay. There we go. I have placed 7 trades with you guys now with 100% success rate with an average of 6.8% gain per trade. I can already see that this is going to significantly provide for my wife and 2 daughters. Bunch of exclamation points. I have tried many stock trading programs, and out of the gate, DayTradeSPY is producing the fastest, most consistent, and predictable results by far in capitals. I can't thank you enough. He goes on to say later on here, I've been doing $10,000 per trade, and as I mentioned, I'm averaging 6.8% so far. The potential is really incredible here if the system stays consistent in its performance. I strongly believe it will. I can honestly tell you, I've never seen faster, more, I should say, I honestly tell you, I've never seen faster, more consistent, predictable results than with your system. And believe me, I've tried a lot of stock programs and subscriptions. Yours truly is the best by far at producing immediate, predictable results. Soon I'm going to start doing $20,000 per trade and go to 50,000 per trade. I recently sold my whole stock portfolio at AB Bernstein, moved more funds into my money market, so I have a significant amount to work with. Anyway, goes on about this here, and I think 2024 will be a volatile reel for stocks with the convergence of many factors and what the Feds are going to do with interest rates, election year, right? Post-COVID funds relief, a lot of companies are at risk running out of steam, credit defaults, geopolitical factors, Israel, Ukraine, China, Taiwan. The guy's absolutely right. Who could predict anything in this environment? Years ago, when there was like oil crunches and stuff, oil shortages, well, guess who made the most money? The oil companies. You think that when there's a problem with oil, that oil would suffer, but oil, I remember the Exxon, Chevron, all these companies, they made record profits those years. All this to say, I agree with your philosophy. So much going on in the world. It's wise to focus on one thing that's working extremely well, consistent and predictable, rather than being spread thin on a number of avenues that have significant degrees of instability. It is wise to focus on one thing that is working extremely well, consistent and predictable. I applaud you and Aaron very much for the incredible work you've done. Put all this together and offer it out there to truly help people. You are really making a difference. Thank you for that, Nathan.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Nathan.
much, Nathan. All right, these guys are unbelievable. All right, folks, this is what you're here for. This is why you are here. We're launching the $2,000 to $10,000 challenge round 3, and it starts tomorrow, Monday, January the 29th. You must be in the trading room to witness the program. There's no extra cost to be part of this challenge. It's part of the trading room. If you are in the trading room, you're going to witness it. Join now and get ready. All right. And here's how this is going to work. There are going to be some rules. Rules are subject to change, but these are going to be cardinal rules. We're starting with $2,000 and we're only going to trade the profits as they settle. So that is the next day. Okay, we're going to trade profits. So this is going to be cash account. We're using a cash account here. There it is right there, cash account. So those pattern day trade rules do not apply. So in other words, if we have $2,000 to trade, we're going to trade $2,000, then we're done for the day. If we have $2,500 to trade, we can trade up to $2,500. It could be 2,000 on one trade, 500 on another. Okay. Generally, we're probably going to do just the one trade early on so that we can, just build up our cushion. We're going to buy first, then sell calls and puts using our standard setups. All right. And we're not going to do any, like I said, any spreads, no naked, anything, not even any repairs. And we are going to track them on a daily spreadsheet. And these activities are going to be reported daily in the inner circle follow-up. So if you do want a daily report as to how we did, you must subscribe to the inner circle, which costs you all of what? A coffee and a donut a day. A coffee and a donut a day, okay? Which is like nothing. And we're going to record the gains and losses net of commissions. The commissions we're going to consider $1 a contract because that's what I pay for Tasty Trade, $1 a contract. Our goal is to hit $10,000 in 3 months, which is April the 29th. Okay. If you want to take $2,000 from the 10th, now we did this twice already. In fact, we got in advance of our target date. So we took $2,000, turned it into $10,000 within 3 months. And the last time we did it, not only did we do it, but we also had 6 days where we did not trade. And we also have 5 days where we had losers. And we still hit our target well in advance. Okay. All right. So this is what it's going to look like. Here's the spreadsheet. And we're just going to fill this in. We've got our profit target and our end sort of target, beginning balance, end balance, and then, of course, our net actual gains, actual balance, and how much we're going to vary from our targeted gains. And in the notes section, we're going to talk about what we did, maybe any challenges you may have come up with or whatever. Okay, so we're going to do that. All right, so here's some of the rules we're going to talk about. We're going to start with the safer trades, further out at the money expirations, modest gains. Going to build up our buffer, and then possibly, we're going to see maybe get a little more aggressive later on in the program. And we may possibly trade more than once a day, but we're going to stay with the cash account rules. Cash account rules, okay? So I want to tell you too that this is going to probably happen fast. So you really need to kind of pay attention, especially it's going to be near the beginning of the day. As somebody mentioned earlier in a testimonial, most of the money is made in that first hour. So we're going to want to probably get in there early on, make our money, get in, get out. So we're not going to have a lot of time to sit there and review and go over and go and you know and have a democratic vote on should we get into this or not. No, 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 no. We're going to be going into this. We're going to explain it. Pay attention. If you miss it one day or two, don't worry about it. You'll get caught up. All right, but you're going to see what we do. Okay, you're going to watch it firsthand. What we're going to do is we're going to determine, first of all, how much money we have, how many contracts can we buy with the money that we have, when are we going to enter a trade? Is it worth getting into the risk? What's the risk like? Is there enough runway, to land on? Is there enough room to grow? I guess is what I should say. All the rest of it, and we're going to do it. We're going to get in, get out, make our money, get on with the rest of our trading day. Which, by the way, we have other strategies too. It's going to be very exciting, and most people are going to follow along and going to do very well. Here's another testimonial here for you, folks. This one comes from Bruce. Bruce is a doctor. All right, this guy's he's no slouch. Okay, he's actually a doctor's doctor. Super nice guy. I had the pleasure of having a one-on-one with this gentleman here a while back, and he's in our trading room. He says, right after the trading room this morning, where I made $850 on pick of the day, OMG and the scalp trades, I was telling my wife about how I was learning how to trade options from you guys. Brief note of thanks. When I was in medical school, more than a few years ago, they had a saying in our surgery training rotation. The saying is, in regards to performing minor surgical procedures, was see one, do one, teach one. I love this. See one, do one, teach one. What you guys do reminds me of those days. I see what you do. I learn from you and then do what you've taught me. And then, as with this fine young fellow that he's talking about up here, I find that I'd like to share newfound knowledge with others. This guy wants to share his newfound knowledge with others. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. This is just what you guys do. It's oversimplified to say it is this way, but see one, do one, teach one. To say that it is that. It is one of the joys of life. Thanks for taking me back to school. This time it's not medical school, it's options trading school. And as someone who's taught many medical students and psychiatric residents over the years, I have known the joy of learning and the greater joy of learning from teaching. I am enjoying learning from you immensely. Provides me with an even greater joy than the money I am making with DayTradeSPY. I mean, that is awesome. You guys are great teachers. Consider me a grateful student. All the best. Thank you so much, Bruce. Another winner. Another winner. All right, Aaron, it is 9 o'clock Eastern time to talk about the trading room. Because I know you guys are waiting with bated breath. What is this trading room he keeps talking about? Aaron and I host this every morning. Every morning, right? We get in at 9 o'clock, open the trading room, you'll hear music. You have to hear music. Because if you're on, say, at 9:05, 9:10, 9:15, you don't hear any music, that means there's something wrong with your audio in all likelihood. Or, you know, not likely ours. We've been doing it long enough. Hopefully it's not our end, but you never know. But check your audio. Make sure your hardware and software are alive and well. And that'll tell you that we're all set to go. At 9:20, more or less a minute or two out, we start the actual trading room. What we do is we discuss the news and events that are going to shape the markets today. We determine, is it likely going to go up, down, where's it going to go? And that's what we do. And then at 9:30, the opening bell comes. We look to enter trades, and we have our various strategies. We have our 2 to 10K challenge. We have our OMG, which is short for out of the morning gate, our bread and butter, our scalps. What else do we trade? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, right? And this is where our strategies come alive, folks. Every morning, 9:20 to 10:30. So we don't monopolize your whole day. This is not, excuse me, not a coffee club or a drop-in center. It's not where everybody has the microphone and whoever talks has control. These are events that happen every morning. People put their lives on hold. They come into the trading room and they make their trades. They make their money. They get in, they get out. Folks, learn from the best, okay? Learn from the best because these are interactive, exciting trading sessions. We teach what we trade and we trade what we teach. Watch us make real trades, real setups using real money. If you have any questions, just like with this session here, you can ask them in the questions box. We'll endeavor to answer all your questions. Don't always get to them, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on. And again, it's the longest running trading room. We've been doing this since 2010. And again, it's going to be the 2 to 10K challenge in 90 days. That's going to start tomorrow. You have to be in on this. You must be in the trading room to get into the 10 to 20K challenge. So I do not know for the life of me why anybody would be reluctant to buy into this for $699 for 3 months. As I understand it, Aaron, I think there's a money back guarantee for a short period. I think it's a couple of weeks.
Yes, I believe it's actually a little bit more than that. I believe it's 30 days now. Money
Okay.
back guarantee.
Don't quote us on that. It depends. Yeah, don't quote us on that. I've seen both. But
Okay.
either way, you're going to quickly find out whether this is for you or not, right? You're going to know very soon. And it's not for everybody. I'm not saying it's going to be for everybody. I mean, there's going to be probably somebody who might want swing trades longer out or goes too fast for them or whatever. I don't know, but I found that most people really enjoy this. They love it. They're learning. They're making money. They're having fun, and it doesn't monopolize their whole day. And it's just an awesome thing. And the 6.99, if you cost it out, it works out to about a Subway sandwich for one of us, Aaron and myself. I don't know who's going to eat today, but I'll rest my one of us lunch for the benefit of both of us. Whoa, Aaron, I think we're gonna have to take it up with the guys over back at the office. You're selling it way too cheap, way too cheap.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
I can't even get extra pickles on my Subway.
not for that price. No, no. Oh, you want cheese? Oh, no, that's another 50 cents, sir. Oh yeah, forget it. Forget.
Only
Folks,
extra
it's
salt
a
and pepper.
no-brainer, right? This is a no-brainer. Seriously, this is a no-brainer. I can't tell you it's a no-brainer. All right, you're gonna get the URL, I believe, at the end of the session. So let's get into some questions. Aaron, what kind of questions we got up on the board here? My goodness, they're all coming up here.
Yeah, there's been a lot of questions, but it's mostly for I've been reading it's mostly for other services. But do have somebody that said made has made about 3,000 this month doing pick of the day and a bit of a signal. Congratulations on that,
Nice,
Timothy.
nice, nice.
Um, I think you pretty much answered the question. For what do we have to do to participate in the 2 to 10K challenge? Well, be part of the trading room, and to do that, you'll have that link pop up on the same tab that you logged in with the Zoom, or you just go to DayTradeSPY.com and click on the link that says subscribe to the trading room up at the top. Um,
Yeah.
Charles says, I'm so glad I finally decided to follow you guys. Made a lot of money this year. We'll continue to follow you guys as long as I trade. Thank you so much, Charles. Appreciate you. Um, and uh, and Greg says, license to just another tax. License to kill,
Yeah.
license just to another tax. Um, yeah, well, and Mary says brokers make a lot of money in commissions. They don't care if you want to lose. That's right on, Mary. They're basically the floor dealers at a casino is very similar to retail trading and commissions and brokerages. If you're in charge of the show, you run the show, and you make money either way.
I hate it when they compare us to a casino. Gambling is gambling, but and it's gambling in the stock market, I think, this is my opinion. If you don't know what you're doing, then you're just kind of gambling, right? You're
Of
kind of
course.
hoping. But when you
Yeah.
look at what we do, see, here's the thing. I just want to say this here real quick before you get into the rest of the questions here. Aaron comes with his own set of indicators. you know, Andrew's pitchfork, Fibonacci, and other stuff that he's compiled, mixed and matched and configured and innovated it and worked it in such a way that it has this predictability to it, if there's such a thing. I mean, I know all indicators give you history, but he's discovered some really cool things with these things. So he comes with that. I come with another completely independent set of indicators. And when I say the market's going to go up, and Aaron says the market's going to go up, it's probably going to go up. Okay. So
Yeah.
you get this double, checks and balances or whatever you want to call this double whammy here. It's like a double barrel shotgun that, my gosh, this thing's going to go. So you want to get in on this. All right,
If
go ahead.
if I can add something to that, Hugh, with the casino analogy, um, we had a couple of webinars where we went kind of deep into I think it was a 1 and 1 plus 3, 1 and 1, 1 plus 1 equals 3 webinar where we talked about that. But imagine going to the casino and knowing, and being able to count the cards,
Yeah.
and have that ability. Not just be able to count the cards, but imagine if also you knew what the dealer had. You're pretty sure what the dealer had, with the patterns and things, and as well as the Andrews pitchfork, as well as the indicators that Hugh has, as well as the yellow brick road. I will tell you something, that Hugh is a master reader at price action, and he'll come up with his yellow brick road, and oftentimes it'll move pixel to pixel, with the way that the price will go up and down. And when he says price should come down here and a retrace, it's going to bounce here. There's been many times it's done exactly that, and he shows that right alongside us in the trading room, and right alongside you.
That is really
So,
good.
and there's a great movie, by the way, if anybody's interested. It's called 21. It's about MIT people that clean the clocks of casinos. I think they picked up over $2 million because they learned how to count cards.
Were they banned from the casino? Do you remember?
They eventually, they weren't banned from the casino, but I think the professor, so it was the MIT professor that trained his students actually how to count cards,
Oh my
and
God.
he was actually reprimanded because they put it into practice. It's So they use statistics, and similar to a group actually around here in this area, where they went online and they found all the scratch off lottery games that hadn't been won yet, and they went to like the highest prizes, and they went to every single 7-Eleven and convenience store and bought up all the scratch tickets with the ones at the highest prices that hadn't won. They ended up winning over $1 million, I think.
Wow. When you say around here, you're thinking what, the Washington area? Where were you?
Yes, Washington D.C. area.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, so when you think about it, I mean, we actually have that advantage, don't we? Where we have that. It's almost like, yeah, you can count cards using our system. That's really pretty cool. A lot of great comments coming here. The system really works. I've done very well as long as I follow the general rules. I've been hurt the worst when I didn't follow the rules, let my ego or mental bias take over. My goodness, to me, that's the number one enemy. It's not the stock market, it's yourself. It's the person in the mirror. There is the enemy. The person is us. I know it sounds cliche in some ways, but I found that the first thing, and I'm kind of rambling here, 9:10. I don't want to keep it too long, but I found that one very important discovery, and I saw immediate results from this when I fully understood that the market is not your adversary, it's actually your best friend. And you can prove it to yourself every day. Go back to the charts, and when you learn our strategies, the indicators that we use, you're going to quickly discover that the market did, in fact, give you many opportunities all day long. Many opportunities all day long to make money. Were you smart enough to take them? Were you brave enough? Did you have the confidence to take them? Probably not. Did you take a trade and then you got spooked out when a little noise on the 1 minute went against you? Did you stay with it on the 5 all the way to the top? Did all these things. When you start asking yourself these questions and you look back at the charts all day, you say, my goodness, if I had only done this, yeah, are you kidding me? How much money I'd be up today? So when I discovered that the market's actually my best friend, like a dancing partner. Now I'm not a dancer, okay? It's I've never been a dancer, and but I know that if you're in a particular dance, you take 2 steps forward, and the market takes 2 steps back, and then the market takes 3 steps forward, and you take 3 steps back. And then the market takes 2 steps back, and you take 2 steps forward, and then you sit down because you're up. You say thank you. I'll wait for the next song. You take the money, right? That's the way the market is. A symbiotic relationship with you in the market. A coordinated effort. And then when the market is in a bad mood, just ride it out. It's like a bad storm coming through, right? It's just like a bad storm. If you're in a sailboat, and there's a bad storm coming up, what are you going to do? Jump over, drown? No. You drop your sails, drop your anchor, whatever you do, and just bounce around. Just try and keep the keel in the water, right? And the mast over, and you'll probably be all right. Eventually, probably in a very short time, it's just as quickly as it came, it's going to go away. And that's what I see with the stock market. If it goes against you, especially if it comes against you quickly, it'll probably pass just as quickly. And it's just the way it is. So don't go panicking or anything. I know that in the last 2, 3 weeks, Aaron predicted some pretty lofty positions on SPY, especially when it was going down. And it took a lot of confidence. And some of the people in the trading room that actually bought those cheap calls further out, I know they made some very good money on Aaron's recommendations on that, on his predictions. And you'd have been wise to go along with them. So anyway, just kind of going back on some of the weeks. We have a lot of people, a lot of interaction, a lot of stuff here. Question here concerning the alerts. Yes. Long term, we're going to probably do better than 96% because we're going to be tweaking that algorithm on that one here. Don't worry about spelling, Mary. She says spell amateur. Don't even give it a thought. I knew we were talking about this. You know what? Believe me, we forego spelling typos, all that stuff. We make typos all the time. All right. Charles G says, I believe everything Mary Ann said about you guys is true. Oh my gosh. Aaron, what are the other more questions here? Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. There's hundreds of them.
Yeah, there was a question, what about position sizing? Yeah, we talk about position sizing in the trading room. So when you're trading, we'll talk about how many contracts that we're getting into. It's all on there on the spreadsheet. But as far as individual trades, and positions, that's really up to the person, but we do address questions about position sizing in the trading room. There was a question about the day trader designation to continue to use with the challenges planned with Tasty Trade. Do you want to talk about that at all? Because you did mention that you should be in a cash account.
Yeah, so if you have start with $2,000 in cash account, we're going to make sure that we fall within the pattern day trade rules. So we're not going to go over that. We're only going to trade up to the amount of cash we have in our account, which will facilitate our strategy. So even if you're starting out with a cash account, the simplest account. Now, a lot of brokers are reluctant to give you that. They're going to try and talk you out of it, trying to get you in a margin account because where they make their money is actually lending you money on margin. Now, listen to what I'm going to tell you here. Try and follow along. Let's say you have $80,000 in your trading account and you buy $20,000 worth of stock or options or whatever, and your account balance goes down only $10,000. Even though you have the full $20,000 to buy, they're only going to take $10,000 from you and lend you the other $10,000. So you might get all excited. Oh my gosh, they must have made a mistake or this or that. I've got still $70,000 to trade with. Yes, that's true. But you are now indebted to your broker for $10,000. You see where this is going? A lot of people lose a lot of money on the stock market. That's one way they lose money. Nothing is for sure. Nothing is for sure in the stock market. That's the only thing that's for sure.
There was one question I want to address really quickly. If we are sending the spreadsheet, you should have received an email about the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet's actually after you subscribe, it'll be, if you log in, it's going to be at the top under trading special reports. If you go to DayTradeSPY.com to get and download the spreadsheet, it's under let me see here, under special reports in the trading room. Let me see here. Yeah, so you should see a link for that to be downloaded and to get that. So it's under trading room and then trading room special reports. And then the first link up there, it came in on the 26th. You can click that to download the 2 to 10K challenge spreadsheet tracker. So instead of me emailing hundreds of people that are in our trading room, that's very simple. So log into your account, go to trading room, and then scroll down to trading room special reports. And then it'll be the first link there under trading room special reports, 2K into 10K challenge spreadsheet tracker.
Okay. Let's move this for, yeah, thanks for that. That's a good point. I thought that everybody's going to be sent this at about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, but that's actually a good way of finding it. Is where Aaron just told you there. That's great. Somebody else is asking here, where do you come with the 6%? We found that to be the best balance between risk and reward. Okay. Risk and reward. You can make a lot more, by the way. All right. We can make a lot more. We just use 6% because you have to have a standard by which to measure success. Aaron, I don't know if you've been in any of these trading rooms in the past or any of these programs, but they say, oh, where was a success? It went up 2 cents. Well, guess what? It's not a success because I wouldn't have sold it for a 2 cent gain. So you might call it a success, but it's really not. So we don't consider it a success unless it hit the 6%. Now, there are going to be days it might come in at 5.8, 5.9, but that's not a success. If it doesn't hit 6%, if that's our target, whatever the target is, there are going to be some days when, let's say, volatility is really low, so we might aim for, say, 5%. Whatever our target is that day, that's what we're going to aim for. All right. I want a big shout out to here to Sean. By the way, welcome Lisa and all the new people here. Sean B, I took a call on Friday. Call trade. Was I wrong to do this? You're not wrong because Sean made 13 cents on a trade, 23 cents on another trade. Also had to add to the trade and wait it out, no problem. I love Charles G's comment here. As of now, he says, as of now, I'm making more money with you guys in less than 1 hour than I am making working 8 to 5. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Aaron, let's move on. Hey, another testimonial, folks. You'll love this one here from Bill. Bill is in our trading room, and we get these comments all the time. I reviewed the entire Ultimate Training Workshop. This is our training course, a full-on training course. Everything we do, everything we teach, everything is in this training course. All right, these are 11 hour-and-a-half long sessions. We cover everything, soup to nuts. He says he's reviewed the entire training course 3 times and several of the individual lessons, even more times. It has paid for itself over 20 times since I bought it. And he wrote even more truthfully, 20 times is a very conservative estimate on the ROI for that course. Many thanks to you and Aaron for everything you both do on a daily basis. Folks, this happens all the time. All right. We're going to wrap it up here soon. I just want to mention something else real quick. I don't know. Are there any quick questions we should answer here? And I don't know if there's anything up here.
Yeah. So there was a question from David. So are the Inner Circle and Trade Room same subscription? No. Each one of our items at the top of our website is a separate subscription. So Trading Room, Pick of the Day, DayTradeSPY Signal, Inner Circle are separate subscriptions. And then you also have the Ultimate Training Workshop, which is our foundational course, which I highly, highly recommend for those of you that are signing up for the Trading Room and have the funds available. That's a great course. Highly recommend it.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay. Had a meeting with Gary P on Friday. That was a great meeting. He loved what we do. He says, Gary, can you put it in writing, please? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going, a lot of questions. So anyway, listen, we're not going to keep you on because we can go on this all night, and that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, folks, if you are not in the trading room, please get in the trading room because that's where the action is. That's where you're going to get it, and you're going to learn everything. And if you know what puts and calls are, that's where you belong. If you don't know what puts and calls are, you should probably maybe look at that ultimate training course or talk to us, and we'll see what we can work out as far as getting into the program quickly and efficiently and cost effectively. All right. So with that, I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you happen to be living anywhere near Las Vegas at the end of February here, February 21st to the 23rd, do stop in at the Paris Las Vegas Resort or hotel, whatever that is. And And check us out.
Hotel. Yep.
Yeah, we got a booth there. And Aaron is going to be presenting The Art and Science of Catching a Spy. And that's going to be on February the 21st at 1:25 to 1:55. And learn how to make
Tell me, Hugh. Tell
Yeah,
me, Hugh, can you give me a review of the last presentation I gave just so everybody knows? What do you think? Was it
it was
worth?
awesome. It was awesome. We're down at the Orlando Money Show. Aaron was up there on stage. Me, I'm not going to get on stage because I'm actually shy. I'm shy. I'm really shy. You believe that?
But I don't believe that. But but the thing is, the great thing about that day that I gave that presentation, okay, it was one of those John F. Kennedy days, that moment. Okay, so I'm up there, I'm up there giving my presentation, and once you know it, we predicted a possible turnaround in the SPY around 4:09 on October 30th, 2023. And if you
Yes.
guys know when the rocket took off, when SpaceX launched their rocket from Florida, it lined up exactly with October 30th, 2023, because the market has gone through the roof. So any of you that were there, that was amazing. So
That's right.
we predicted almost the recent low to the point. Okay, I think I said 409 or 410. I think it went down maybe to 408, something like that. And it went, and obviously it's up to 488 this week. So it's almost an 80-point move to the upside. And so those of you that were there and supporting us, highly appreciate you. Um, but we will be given what we think the market was going to be doing in the next couple months and 6 months as well. So just wanted to point that out. Not to toot my own horn. I rarely toot my own horn, but I just did. I wanted to. That's actually irony, coincidence.
That's right. Oh yeah. I'm just trying to think of the word for you. We're gonna have to come with a different word for you. The most, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Anyway, yes,
Astute. I think you
like
said astute, Aaron. Was a
astute
good word.
Aaron, astute Aaron. Very, very amazing Aaron. Very appropriate. February 21st to 23rd, and catch them. They wanted me to do a segment too, but they said, Hugh, there's no way you can keep it to a half an hour, so you're off the stage. We're not letting
Well,
you down
I think what I think is that they didn't have enough room for the crowd that would have showed up. I
Oh
think
yeah,
that was the
right.
problem.
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Guess what? We have one more testimonial. Money show. See you both there. This is from Michael. Michael, all right, Michael, thank you so much for these lovely words here. Good news, and I'm excited. He's already made his reservation to spend all 3 days at the Money Show and plan to attend Aaron's session. I'm looking forward to saying hello personally, shaking both your hands. Just update you both. I have now subscription to the Trading Room Pick of the Day, Signal Trade, and the Inner Circle. I'll share with you the in the 3 weeks joining the profits, he's already exceeded $13,000 profits in the 3 weeks that he's been with us. He's getting it all down here. He appreciates the time, analysis, everything. He's very grateful for this time. I've been trading SPY options for a long time, and I'm so happy I found DayTradeSPY. Look forward to many years to come. We can chat more in Las Vegas. And thank you for that. Michael. All right. So here's the thing. Let me just move along here. Aaron, you know what I'm going to talk about here. There are going to
Mm,
be people out there. There are going to be people who are going to recognize a good thing, and they're going to come online. They're going to say, man, I am so in on this. I am in. And then there's going to be some people, well, I have to check with my wife and my husband, and I have to call my friend, and, I might miss the beginning, might have to start over again in a couple of weeks. And, can I join in? Then, of course, you can join, but you're going to miss those 2 weeks, which are really important. And, I'm going to say, you should have got in then. And I told you so. I told you so. And then there's going to be another batch of people. They're going to email us, Aaron. Just brace for it. They're going to come to you. I can tell you right now, sure as we're sitting there, you say, well, I've been burned before. I just want to check it out. Check it out. I want to make sure it's the right fit for me. Can I hold off a bit on starting it just so I can make sure that this is something I want and something that going to work for me? And can you hold off for another 2 weeks while I make my due diligence? I'm going to say, no, we're starting it tomorrow. All right. January the 29th, 9:30, be there. And I'm going to say, I told you so. Then there's going to be another batch of people who say, nah, I just don't have the money right now. But I will in the middle of February or, end of February. Can you just hold off a little bit more so I can get some money together and get it in the trading account and get it all lined up? And I'm going to say, no, 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 no. You know what? We're starting tomorrow, January the 29th. So please don't email us. In fact, I don't even think I'm going to answer them all, but they're going to say that. I'm going to have to just reply back and say, I told you so. I told you so. Ladies and gentlemen, for goodness sakes, buy this now. I believe at the end of the session, you are going to see a URL pop up on your screen, or if it doesn't, between now and the end of the night or before tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning, go online, all right? Join the trading room. Just join the trading room. You're going to be part of the $2,000 to $10,000 challenge. Because for goodness sakes, do not make me say